Hi everybody. I've got YouTube and I've got TikTok represented in the stream here. Figured it's been a minute since we've all been in the same room together, and wanted to chat and see how everybody's doing. How's everything going? What's new in our world? Yesterday I had like literally wall-to-wall coaching calls with freelancers, which is ironic because when I started this whole social media thing, I was like really particular about nobody calling me a coach. I was like, I don't want to coach. I just want to, I just want to compare notes with my fellow practitioners, and look at me here having coaching calls all day. But really interesting. Lots of people are up to really, really cool stuff. And it's a very interesting, just time economically in the world. So lots of challenges that people are encountering that they find to be prohibitive. But I've made sport out of convincing them that they're actually good things and not bad things. I've noticed that in my career as a freelancer, whenever the market or economy or situation seems untenable, freelancers tend to have the reaction that employees have, which is to be concerned about it or scared. But like bad markets, recessions, what have you, while they're not great for employees, they're actually feeding frenzies for freelancers. And so I've made a point to try and win folks over to that realization this week. At its core, business is the exchange of money for solutions, right? That's what we're doing here. We're trading solutions for cash. And in these really troublesome markets, do you think that there are more problems that need to be solved or less? Right? It's obviously there's more. So it becomes a game of identifying what the new problems are and building out offers for those. So enough of me yapping. Let's get caught up on what some of this chat has been. I was just vamping while people joined in here. Welcome everybody. We got Joe G, May, Christian, Natasha. Joined your freelancing community yesterday. Happy now VIP. Welcome to the freelancing program. It's exciting that you're in here. It'll be fun to watch your business grow. Feel free to post and tag me in anything over there. We can strategize together. Jake, the marketing wizard, just saw you live. Wanted to hop in and say thanks for your content over the years. I appreciate you, dude. Helped me grow an 8-figure agency. Fuck yeah, Jake. Killing it, man. Congrats. That's epic. That's it's fun to watch, man. It's like, this stuff isn't particularly complicated. It's simple. And so I feel like my objective, I did a podcast with the Wall Street Journal last year or the year before, I guess. And the team over there, they're very anti-TikTok, anti-social media. Well, that's a harsh way to put it, but they're traditional media people, right? They're not huge fans of TikTok, but we were all laughing over how I kind of am like the vegetables of TikTok. Since like my mission over there is to just undercomplicate business growth and business success, because I feel like social media just exists to make this stuff more complex than it actually is. Over here on YouTube, Spencer says, your videos gave me the confidence to start building websites freelance 4 weeks in, I just got my 4th contract. Damn, Spencer. Can I call you Spence? Damn it, Spence. 4 contracts in 4 weeks. It's your first freelance endeavor. That's epic. Snaps for Spencer. Andrew over here says, been building our fractional agency and your content has been so helpful this past year. Thanks. I'm glad, man. I'm glad, Andrew. Congrats on getting that agency built out. Fractional, man. I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but like, I feel like fractional wasn't a word until like 3 years ago, maybe 4, something like that. But like, I love it. I love that, it's almost becoming the new word for freelance, because it positions you as the solution, which I like. It's not like they're bringing in a freelance agency or freelancers to, and I'm not just talking about you, I'm talking about everybody that kind of puts themselves under the fractional banner, but like the fact that it's, I guess what I'll say, it feels like a changing of the guard. It feels like that's corporate. You know what fractional is? Is it's corporate America using their, like, getting comfortable with the concept of freelancing as it stands in the world today, where it's like, oh no, this person is actually a strategic partner. This person is actually bringing the heat, and they're not employed by us, but we have one of our social media strategy clients is a $25 billion company, $30 billion company. And they just brought on a fractional CMO, like not for the holding company, but for one of the companies that we're working with. Just brought in a fractional CMO. Like, it's like infiltrated the C-suite of pretty decently sized companies, which has been fun to watch. TPH guy always wondered why you change your appearance so much. I'll clear that up. I don't change my appearance that much, but I've had maybe 3 facial hairstyles over the course of the last 5 years, and we repurposed videos, from 2021. When I had a mustache, and then that same day we'll post a new video, and everybody's like, oh, you shaved your mustache. It's like, no, that was me 5 years ago, man. That was a long time ago. Watched your stuff since university. Wow. Epic. Yeah. I saw a friend of mine is a doctor, and he said he had a patient that has been following me since he was in high school. And I was like, there's no fucking way that I've been doing this that long so far, where we've got high schoolers that are now in the workforce, but we do indeed. So that's cool. It's just cool that people are getting good use out of this stuff. And interestingly, we're talking about how to reach more high schoolers. There's no non-creepy way to say that sentence, but I started when I was in high school. I started my company when I was 17, and there's something, I don't know. There's the naivete of a teenage entrepreneur is something special, and I want to cultivate that, and help those folks. Yeah, so trying to figure that piece of it out. We've had a couple conversations with the team at Snapchat. I know they skew really younger, but Snapchat, I've never figured Snapchat out. Obviously, I mean, TikTok skews pretty young too, but trying to figure that piece of it out, where it's like how to get, how. I like if it's like partnering with schools, like some sort of a partnership or a mentorship program or something like that, like, because there's a PR play there. But we definitely want to start reaching a younger audience. I know right now the bulk of our, demographically speaking, the bulk of our audience is like 25 to 35 years old, or 18 to 35, but a lot of mid 20s. But I'd love to catch them early, and like, right. Cause I feel like in high school, like, and this might be culturally different, but in my experience in America, in high school, it's where, you know, you start getting a lot of signal from the successful people in your reality, telling you that you need to go get a job. And there's not a lot of people, aside from the people on the internet, telling you that there's an alternative. And so, like, trying to figure out how to, uh, combat against that has been a little bit of a goal this year. Nacho, what up, dude? Let's see here. Who says this? Abdul says, any fast portfolio site suggestion? Yeah, kind of a non-answer to that question would be you don't need one. I existed for 16 years before I had a website. I just let my work live in a Google Drive folder, or I'm a video guy, so it could be a Vimeo link. But yeah, I would make a portfolio for every job I went up for. Abdul, I would, rather than send a client to like a blanket site with all of my work, I would cherry pick the things that I thought were relevant to what that client wanted to accomplish. And then I would, and then present them with that folder. And usually it was right before I got on a call with them, because I wanted to walk them through that shit on the call, as opposed to, I never want to leave it up to the client's imagination, or understanding of what they're trying to accomplish, to be like, yeah, these are the, to look at a body of work and pick out what's significant to their goals. So I always wanted to be there with them to hold their hand, through that process. So kind of a non-answer, but that would be the fastest portfolio site suggestion, is don't make one. So you don't even have to deal with it. Let's get caught up with the chat over here on TikTok. Ooh, interesting. Nacho, I know it's out of your niche topic, but what are your thoughts, experiences on investing as a freelancer? It is out of my niche topic. And so everything I'm about to say, take it with a grain of salt, because I'm not well versed in this world, but also a non-answer, Nacho, is, I think, or at least I have experienced, and enough of my friends and colleagues have experienced this phenomenon, is that, what do they say? I mean, the conventional wisdom is that no single stock will outperform the S&P 500 over time, right? Because the S&P 500 gives you a return at like a 7 to 9% or something like that over. But the one thing that I think outperforms the S&P 500 is investing in yourself. Most people, to build wealth, they have two wealth building assets, right? It's real estate and the stock market, right? That's most 9-to-5ers. But us as business owners, we have a third one, and that's our business, right? We have a third investment asset. And me personally, and most of my friends, taking the money that they would have put in the S&P 500 and putting it in their business instead, got them a far more significant return, way faster. So, and it's not or, right? Like, obviously you want to build something that's, productive for, or sorry, I got a text message in the middle of that I wanted to check from Courtney, but, obviously you want to play it, you want to be safe and have a nice, portfolio, with the S&P or something like that. But I think that too many business owners and freelancers are a little stingy in the self-investment department. And, there are certain investments that you can make in your business that are going to get you you can triple your money that quarter if you do it. So it's like, why let that sit in the, mutual fund for 10 years when you just put it to work for your business? TPH guy, how would you approach YouTubers to edit for them if you have a team rather than editing yourself? How to approach YouTubers? Well, it's kind of a battle that's won before it's begun, because it's like, I mean, if they're YouTubers, you know where to find them, right? Or you go after the high leverage clients, like people that manage YouTubers, because they've got anywhere between 6 to 15 of them, under their belt that they can refer you to. But the piece that's won before it's begun is identifying how you position yourself as the solution to a costly, urgent problem that YouTubers have, right? So it's like, you can't just say, hey, I'm going to edit your video, right? You have to identify, what it is that you're actually bringing to the equation from an ROI standpoint. And that's where it would be beneficial to get a little more niched, right? So it's like, if you were, instead of YouTubers, if you were to say like YouTubers that have a paid community, right? Then you can say that I've, become the master of, YouTube video strategy for walking people off from YouTube to your paid community, or YouTubers, or I've developed XYZ clipping framework for this outcome. So it's like, you have to, like, you can't just show up in their inbox and say, do you need clips? Because it's you and 10,000 other people. I can vouch. I probably have gotten 3 of those DMs since I started this live. So you've got to position yourself as a business asset. Like, how do you pay for yourself? What is the outcome? Hang on just a second, guys. I got to reply to this text really quickly. All right. I'll probably have to reply to another couple here in a minute, but what up, Penny the Golden Collie? Oh, here, YouTube's got some questions. Gaurav for Sama. I've been taking French lessons, by the way, so I'm practicing. I know that's not a French name, but Gaurav. That's how you would say it in French. I have over 10 years of specialized experience in app development. Target Intel clients. It said, international clients. One of our clients is Intel. How would you position your LLC to command premium value-based pricing compared to my existing regional LLCs? So I have over 10 years of specialized in app development. You're targeting international clients. And how would you position your LLC to command premium value-based pricing? I mean, I'm trying to think of a more elegant answer than just do it. It's, the more expensive the problem you solve, the more you get to charge for it, right? So it's like, if you want to command premium pricing, you have to solve a premium problem. So much of freelancing is that it happens before the thing that you have a problem with, right? So it's like, the solution to the pricing isn't during the interaction with the client. The solution is identifying the right problem to solve across the board. That a client wouldn't bat an eye at solving. And that can be done with the offer. Like the offer itself is one that solves a significant problem, but it can also be done with the niche, right? So it's like if you take the offer that you are already, delivering at a certain price point, switch the niche, like move over to a niche where that offer is more valuable, right? The analogy that I give a lot on social media is like, a poster for a local cafe and a poster for Warner Brothers are the same job, but in the two different niches, it's way more valuable to Warner Brothers than it is to the cafe. So it's two ways. There's two ways to increase your, to position yourself for a higher price point. First is pick a better offer that solves a more expensive problem, or the second is to keep your offer but move it to a different niche where that offer is more valuable, right? Another question from Dot. I'm pivoting from just taking random gigs, saw your videos, and now working towards editing videos for criminal defense lawyers. How would you suggest getting to them? Been doing cold email. Great. Fantastic. Proud of you for getting really specific on niche. Okay, how do we find these people? Well, first you got to identify where it is that they hang out online, right? So Sales Navigator on LinkedIn is going to help you find them on LinkedIn, but like, are they in Facebook groups? Are they in subreddits? Where is it? Are they in masterminds that you can join, communities that you can join? Like, where is it that they are on the internet where you can go be valuable to them with no expectation of any of them hiring you, just going and being a homie for the industry, and then beyond that, who are the hub and spoke clients that you can be targeting, the high leverage clients? What associations are there for defense lawyers? I'm sure they're all members. I'm sure there's 24 associations that they're all members of. What are the agencies that are serving defense lawyers? The media buying agencies, the traditional go-to-market or marketing agencies that you can go to and pitch your services to white label you. So stuff like that would be my first look. Let's see what's going on over on TikTok here. 15 new messages. Fuck me. All right. I wish TikTok had a like a question, like Instagram has a question thing. Both, frankly, I don't think YouTube has one either. Do they? No, they don't. It would be great to have some sort of like a question organization mechanism. Let's see here. What's this button? Okay, I can pin a notice. What's Q? Oops. The Q lets you offer exclusive services by highlighting key details. Is visible. Okay, I'm gonna have to research what the hell that is. Get me out of here. Oh, great. I broke TikTok. Shit. Stand by. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys. Sorry, YouTube, for the delay. Sorry, TikTok for disappearing. All right, let's see. Where were we? Gleeman on YouTube says fully remote, US, European, and Asian time zones. Yikes. But that keeps you busy. What are your top non-negotiables systems for managing enterprise client expectations and maintaining trust asynchronously? That's a great question. Let me just reply to this real quick. So what are non-negotiable systems for managing enterprise client expectations? So with enterprise clients, guys, and I'm curious how many people in either chat work with like big, like corporate enterprise clients. Let me see. Anybody? Anybody here in TikTok? Texts for you? I do. Nice. Sorry, we've got a big week next week, so got to keep the team, got to be pretty responsive over here. That's why I keep stopping the text. But yeah, with enterprise clients, so the question is, what are non-negotiable systems for managing enterprise clients? With enterprise clients, managing their expectations and maintaining trust. First and foremost, often the thing that you're selling is them looking cool to their boss. It's not like when you're working with a founder or a small business, like they're very into how do I tie this to ROI. But the bigger the client, they're using daddy's credit card. Like they don't really care about ROI directly so much as they care about like, did I move the needle on this like initiative that our team is working on? Did I support my team? Is my boss going to give me a raise at the end of the year? Right. So it's like you kind of have to talk differently about them. But as far as setting expectations go, that part's the same, right? So it's like you have a conversation with them where it's where you get an understanding of how they're measuring success, right? So it's like, hey, how are we measuring success for this thing? And they'll say, well, and these ones you tend to have to work with a little harder to get them to pin it down to something that's measurable, because a founder will quickly arrive at, well, if we see, conversions increase by 8%, we're going to be happy campers. But enterprise clients, it's a little more amorphous and, they're a little embarrassed to say, well, I just want to look cool to my boss, so it's like, you kind of have to chat with them, like really work with them to figure out, what your report card looks like for this project. And then you can, set expectations from there where it's like, okay, well, this is how we're measuring success. Okay, well, here's what we're looking for. Here's what my input's going to look like and what my involvement's going to look like. And here's what I expect from you. And on these dates, and if that doesn't happen, it threatens this measurement that we're both working for, but here's the added benefit of enterprise, which I'm sure you've clued into, is that once you knock it out of the park for them, they'll be able to, that you can then ask them to refer you within the company. Intercompany referrals is a big deal with enterprise clients, where it's like, there's like, 14 different teams, and you become someone who knows what the fuck they're doing. And so these guys look cool when they recommend you to another team, right? If like HR recommends you to product development and product development recommends you to sales, and before you know it, yes, you're working for one company, but really it's like having 10 clients, or 8 clients or 2 clients, but still. So don't sleep on that either, right? It's like once you knock it out of the park for your enterprise clients, then give them the tools that are necessary for them to go advocate on your behalf, to within their company. All right. All right. I'm going to leave it here because I have a hunch that I'm going to have to keep replying to texts and emails for the next like 20 minutes. And that would just be the wrong thing to do to you guys. So I'm gonna log off. But I am planning on doing more of these lives here in the near future. So make sure you have notifications turned on, and we can have this a longer hangout session next time. All right. Have a good one, guys. Have a great night if it's nighttime. Have a great day if it's morning. I'll see you soon.